So now I've got the 3 feet built and I'm ready to attach them to the bottom of my bowl. I'm going to use this paintbrush and some water. Mine isn't that clean. Yours should probably be cleaner. I'm also going to use this plastic fork, and all these materials will come together and help me properly adhere and attach the 3 feet to the bottom of the bowl. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure that all 3 feet are very matchy-matchy, same scale, same thickness. Turns out I had some extra clay because my first sphere, my first attempt, I felt was too big. You want your feet shape to be kind of like maybe like the size of a large marble versus a jawbreaker candy. That's kind of what I went with at first, and that was too big. So be a good judge of that. You don't want your 3 feet too gigantic. Okay, and now it turns out I have some extra clay. I'm going to seal it in my small Ziploc bag, and then later I'm going to make something for funsies for extra credit. So maybe I'll turn that into a Christmas ornament. Who knows? I'll decorate it and stamp it. And then if you're going to do something like that, take a photo of it and email it to me, and I'll give you some extra credit points. So now I'm doing a final check that all 3 spheres, all 3 feet are matchy-matchy. And I'm taking my plastic fork, and I'm going to use the end of my plastic fork in a minute to mark out. Here I go. I'm marking out three little notes to myself in clay. 3 marks that are basically equidistant from one another, so that I know where to slip and score and attach each foot to the bottom of the bowl. So that's the technique I'm starting to do, the slip and score technique. It's called the slip and score technique, even though we score first. Now that plastic fork is a little wimpy. If you have a real metal fork, that would actually be better. Maybe you have a fork you can spare for this. Just clean it really well if you're going to use it again for food. I'm holding my bowl safely on the tabletop. You can do this on the tabletop. Have your bowl, set down on the table, but have a good grip on it with your free hand. And I keep dunking my plastic fork in water. That helps hydrate the clay while I'm doing the scoring technique, which is essentially a cross-hatching method. Don't hulk out, though, and bust through and make a hole in the bottom of your bowl. Remember, the bottom of your bowl should be marker thick, which is helpful in order to support the weight of your 3 feet. So everybody's making 3 feet, 3 spheres, and then you're going to properly attach them using the slip and score method. And so you can see I'm taking that plastic fork and I'm dragging it in a cross-hatching, crisscross manner. You may have to kind of aggressively scratch up the clay too. If your clay is a little on the dry side, the clay is going to make you work for it. So get ready to exert some extra energy. But that's what I mean about aggressively scoring up and scratching up the clay. You can see my scratch marks. They're very evident. That's what we want. That's good. And then do the same thing to the bottom of each foot. When the bottom of the bowl is properly scored, then do the same thing to each foot. You're going to scratch up each foot, and at that contact point, apply a little bit of pressure, and you can see I turned my hand a little bit, almost like it's a screw cap I'm turning. And then I like to finish the job after attaching a foot with by painting a little bit of water from my paintbrush. So I'm creating a seal, essentially, so that that foot stays on and doesn't want to pull apart from the clay and roll off the table. And you're going to do this 3 times total. So I have a slippy surface developing. You can see water running off of my bowl. That's completely normal. I'm trying to create slip. Slip is 50% water, 50% clay. Remember, slip is like a ceramic artist's glue. I mentioned that during boot camp weeks ago. So now I've got all 3 feet attached. I'm sealing them with water to make sure they fully bond to the bottom of the bowl. And double checking that they're equidistant from one another. I'm cleaning up some areas. You want to kind of, give it a little makeover, beautify it. I don't recommend putting weight on the bowl just yet. maybe let those feet toughen up just a bit. Don't let them get fully dry, but just they can toughen up a bit, and then you can put weight on it. Expect the 3 spheres to flatten out a little bit as a result of putting some weight down on them. Okay, and then just enjoy your almost finished product.